Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today we will have our casual talk regarding ethical business ethics, which we learned this whole semester with Pak Andika. This will be our video reflection on what we have learned and how is our implementation in our day-to-day work. First, we'd like to introduce here Mas Kunto. He is a chemical engineer working for one of the oil and gas operator here in Qatar. He is also the business owner in Indonesia. Welcome, Mas
Thank you, Pak
Kunto.
Yoga.
And with us also our special guest, David Sihotang. He is head of loyalty and campaign in one of the bank.
Biggest bank in Qatar.
Thank you, Om Yoga.
Yes.
Thank you, Om Kunto. Welcome.
Right. Now, let's start. I think this will be very fruitful discussion.
Pak Yoga, what do you want to talk tonight? Ethic is very serious. And, when we say ethic, mean that is people thought only about don't cheat, don't lie, but it's more beyond that, right? What do you think?
I think good thing about ethical and also law and sustainability here in Qatar, they are enforce us to do it more, in my opinion, compared to back in our country. Because in here they are more sensitive with their value, especially religion value that they implemented, especially in the bank. How they measure the interest, how they treat the customer, and also they want to maintain their brand value. So that's why they also maintain their sustainability.
Correct.
Because they want to show that like our bank is having a good perception in the market by doing sustainability in all the project that we have.
Good one, good one. But don't forget that when we started, remember that 2022 when the World Cup is conducted here, right?
Yes.
All eyes from all the world is looking at Qatar, and then they're trying to, it's Qatar's not doing good on this, not doing on this, especially on the ethical, what's it called, how we treat the workers and so on. So now Qatar has more strict and more kind of open, and because all eyes, especially during the preparation for World Cup, is on Qatar. But now World Cup is over, but still the value or the we need the strong what's it called support on how to be related to ethical, and then the sustainability is really one of the major value in the company.
I think that's correct, yeah, Pak Kunto, Pak Yoga, because in Qatar, like we have 974 stadium, part of the sustainability, right?
Yeah.
And there is no alcohol also. They want to show the world, become a showcase how ethic can be implemented in this world stage, and everyone see it, and it's running well.
Correct.
It's really good.
Indeed, if you remember, Pak Yoga, that one of the comment is that a lot of women who watch the football say that it's different like all others World Cup. That
Yes.
almost no harassment, nothing. That Alhamdulillah, kind of this is.
I think that's the value that we have something in the Qatar compared to, if I'm in my opinion. I think we already share about our experience, our thinking about ethical, and also law, and also sustainability in our current job. Now we want to go through to the question. The first question that I think I want to share to you, and I want to know what is your opinion, is the first one: how do moral foundations and value, which is based on swords, inform you about your own ethical decision making, especially in the business context? What about you, Pak Yoga?
Yeah, I think for me, in the business context, we are bound to comply with the follow company guidelines. So one of the, I think something which is very important in our company, there is a concept called father.
Oh.
So in every our decision making, we should consider all of these 6 aspects. No, the father concept, F stands for fairness.
Yeah.
So whatever we decide, we need to ensure that it is a fair treatment towards everyone. A is the accountability. We should be accountable for whatever decision we take. T is trust. We should build trust for all the stakeholders. H is honesty. We should be honest.
Yeah.
And E is equality. We should treat everyone the same. And R is a respect.
Okay.
So this, for me, is one of the foundation. Is one of the guidance to make a decision making in our day-to-day business.
Well, that's a good one. I mean, that's the compass that the father is a good concept. But on top of that, for me as working for the offshore operation, right? When we develop something that we also consider the compliance to the rules that we have in Qatar, as well as the impact on whatever we do for the future generation, mean sustainability. For example, that our pipeline project that is ongoing from North Field to the onshore Qatar, we kind of assess how it will impact on the environment and then impact so that's there is some something that father's concept that Pak Yuda already mentioned, but also on top of that is the other value that we need to respect from our surrounding, our stakeholders, environment.
Okay.
That answering your question, what of your?
Yeah, I think in overall the concept of fathers, which is fairness, accountability, trust, honesty, equality, and respect, it is good for the working place like in Qatar, because we have so many nationality. They have different background.
Yeah.
So this concept, if can be implemented well in Qatar, it will have the same standard for all the people here in Qatar, even though they have different background. And based on moral compass, if it is implemented as a compliance that become a rule that everyone need to follow, it will be great also.
Yeah.
I think, and we all know here in Qatar, you need to follow the rule.
Yeah.
You cannot play around with the rule.
Correct.
So yeah, I think it's good. I think the moral compass that Pak Yoga mentioned about father, and also the compliance that implemented in your working place, I think is one of the good way to have a moral foundation here in Qatar.
Well, thanks Pak Devi for explaining that, and also Pak Yoga. But that can we provide some sort of example on applying this concept to our moral compass for when we make a decision during our day-to-day activity here in Qatar?
Like
Maybe
a
one or
father
two?
concept, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I work for project, managing project, and we deal with many contractor and subcontractor. And so I think one example about fairness, for instance, we give the opportunity for all the contractor who did our project, that we perform on the part of fairness and equality. Also, we perform the same treatment, technical assessment to all the bidders, so that they get. We perform the same technical clarification, and then when the project is awarded, also we work as a team. That's another value of respect. We work as a team to achieve the same goal, which is achieving the project. And then for in the work project execution, if we face problem,
Yeah.
there is a claim or dispute, we have a clear in place procedure. So this is also to ensure the accountability
Sure.
Yeah.
between. So that's I think what is good with the company in Qatar is they have very good system to ensure that moral foundation or value are adhered. You have another example?
Yeah, maybe from the banking industry. Because me and Pak Yudas
yeah.
have some.
For us, we have really rigid compliance, yeah, compared to others because, just like you said, accountability. Everything need to be full compliance. You cannot play around with compliance. Everything with fine. Every regulatory monitor us, compliance monitor us, our central bank monitor us, our ministry also monitor us.
Yeah.
So it's so sensitive for us. That's why maybe in our business decision, more or less is influenced by the compliance itself.
Thank you, thank you. And then actually, just want to add one of the component of Father that honestly, right, give you a personal example that here in Qatar is actually similar to in other country. Honesty is really fundamental, you know, and also for everyone who watching this one, that the people in the Middle East, they have a very good memory. So if you do something bad, they will remember forever. That's why don't cheat, don't lie. So and lie here it means that in some culture maybe like white lie. You know, a lie that is for a good reason.
For business sake.
Yeah, don't do it here. Once they found out, lie is a lie. So, okay.
But I think that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, compliance here, you cannot play around with the
Yeah.
rule.
Indeed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ta-da! Now it's time for fun fact.
Yeah.
Did you know the English word ethics comes from ancient Greek word ethos, which means the character, habit, or custom of people. However, the term business ethic only come into common use in USA in early 70 before being quickly adopted around the world. It is generally referred to as an ethical principle that can arise in a business environment, applied to all aspects of business conduct, either for individual or for entire organization. For the next topic, Pak Kunto, you remember in early 20,
Yes.
we have a case, very famous case, Enron case. You know, that's an accounting of fraud, which is
US.
very famous, right? So, what you can take from that, or maybe in general, what would be your strategy to avoid the moral neglect, moral justification, and moral inaction? So, maybe reflect from your organization or your personal experience. Can you share?
Sure. But before that, let me sip the coffee. It's very tough question. Well, from moral neglect means that we ignore some ethical value when making a decision, right? So, in kind of for example, for the offshore project, that our experience that to ensure the compliance or to ensure that we're following the ethical value, we should have divided the activity on a small step. When the activity can be audited or different, yeah, okay. This is what we've done here. That before we developed the project with Gate 1, Gate 2, Gate 3, Gate 4, and in each gate we have like external what's called evaluation, external party to review that what we have done correctly from different angle, from technical aspect, safety, health, and sustainability and so on.
Yeah.
So that's good. With that, I think we will ensure that we are not neglecting any ethics values during the course of the project development. Maybe you can continue for the moral ethic knowledge.
Uh, I think related to moral neglect or moral justification, just like you said, Pak Kunto, in my working place, everything is under written approval. So everyone who give a signature approval to make a business decision,
Yeah.
he or she need to be responsible with it. Based on what consideration, based on what justification. Sometimes for us, we need to provide a clear data. What is the impact of this decision? It's not just about for business sake, but it can be also impact to reputational damage, legal issue. So all need to be put it in the writing approval, and the next after you decide the management take the decision, there's another layer for another department, another group to review your decision, which is audit. That's also sensitive for us. If in internal audit and also external audit,
Yes.
and also a regulatory audit, which is they will review us based on the monthly report that we provide.
Oh, see.
And I think from internal perspective, from internal department, what could also be very effective is speak up policy.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So speak up policy is ensuring that we are able to raise whatever concern we have. If we see any moral neglect or moral justification or moral inaction, we can always speak up, and then we feel psychologically safe that there will not be any retaliation for whoever reporting misconduct. So I think on top of that, the speak up policy is also important, right?
In our working place, it's called whistleblower
Okay.
policy. So it's under protection of the company.
Right. So I want to read one quote from the 19th century philosopher. This is related to the moral inaction. So his name is John Stuart Mill. So he is a philosopher from 19th century. He said, a person may cause evil to another, not only by his action, but also by his inaction. So he should be held justly accountable to them for the harm. So it means that it's not, we should also be judged by our inaction if we miss to do the right thing, or if we just silent when we see something wrongdoing happen.
That's true. Indeed.
But again, a little bit back on the you mentioned regarding the whistleblower and then to speak up, right? In our company as well, we have like a ethic like hotline, so we can report without no name if there's any ethical violation or any mistreatment within the company. So it's being encouraged by the ethic committee to submit without any harm to individuals that submit, which is good.
It's time for fun fact. Did you know the word policy come from ancient Greek?
Oh,
Word for citizen, polites, and the state or city police. And the Greeks set out clear rules to guide their police. We are all citizens of Qatar. We want our organization to thrive, this also requires set of common rules, so everyone know, then everyone should follow, and how everyone should behave, and what is acceptable and what is expected to them. So that is the origin of the word policy.
Right.
Good to know.
Well, gents, now let's move on to the last question we need to solve tonight about the ethical theories. This, we have learned about deontological, right?
Yes.
It's very hard to pronounce. And consequentialism. Hope I pronounce it correct. And also virtue and stakeholder ethics. Maybe let's provide to our audience what is kind of in general what are these ethics means, and then how we apply that to solve the ethical dilemma we have in working place, and what we can learn from this. Pak Davi, you can start.
Okay. I think in our working place, especially here in Qatar, about deontological.
Oh, you are correctly say that.
Most of our company here believe about, I think, and also implement about Islamic value,
Okay.
including our company. So that's sometimes become our view how to make a decision, business decision.
Okay.
Even when we have a partnership, when we create a program, when we create communication, we need to follow the father theory that the theory that we have, and also to be transparent to it, and there is nothing to be hide.
Okay. Okay. So deontologically mean that set of rule and compliance that we need to follow.
Yes. I think the view, the religion is
Okay.
more influence
Okay.
in the business decision in my company.
And the second one, would you like to continue or give it to the hard work
Maybe
to
I
Pak
will
Yoga?
give to Pak Yoga first.
Consequentialism.
Consequentialism
Very good.
is actually a concept where we take a decision based on what would what the consequences will be of every our action. It could be positive, it could be negative, and then I think in Qatar it's very rare, because as explained by Pak Davi, here we have defined policy for the ethic. For me, when we have a problem, also it will be easier, right? So I think this is one good thing which can be universally applied, is when we define a clear policy, a clear guideline. We define clearly what is the mechanism if we see some doubt, who can take decision for any doubt.
Okay.
That would be very good for the organization.
Sure.
And so irrespective whatever the approach they take, what is important is the clear policy, so everyone in every level, they know what needs to they know what needs to do.
Correct.
Right. And the policy will make the consistent decision making. So that's we can test again about the fairness, about the equality, about the respect.
Okay. I think that the answer is connect to the next one, the virtue ethics, which focus on the character of the leaders, how the leader behave in the integrity manners, so that whatever they do is following the ethical value, the fathers that you mentioned before, honesty, and then the what's called respect and so on. So then virtue is kind of will help the organization to make a clear path, especially for the employer, because they know that their leader is someone that working in line with the ethical value, and then someone that they can trust. What do you think for the last part?
I just want to adding something about this deontology I forgot before. So it's not only about the value that we implement based on everyone
Okay.
understanding, but just like you said, is there is a rule that implemented well to all the employee, including even there's a gratification. There's
yeah.
a rule for gratification,
Yeah.
really clear.
Yeah.
Its impact to how to manage the corruption.
Yeah.
I mean, gratification can be part of the
Correct,
corruption,
correct.
indication of corruption. So, yeah, the ontology in here is not only only the way we believe, the way the employee believe to do, but also the policy that we implemented.
Indeed. And in each organization, I believe your company also have the ethic rule, like ethic, what's it called? Ethic policy.
Mm.
Right.
And you need every year you need to sign, by the way,
Indeed.
ethic of conduct. Yeah.
Yeah. And if we forgot to sign that, the bonus will not.
Will not get bonus.
Yeah. Indeed.
Oh yeah, in us we don't have any problem as long as it's still the same.
Okay.
Everything is the same except, for example, you have relative
Yeah.
in the same company. You need to report. Then you need to update your ethic of conduct. Regarding the dilemma, right? Dilemma that you're facing in your working place. One example, like when you receive something from the partner.
Yeah.
I think that in my company the policy is really clear. For example, is certain value you need to report.
Yeah.
If below the value, that certain value, then you just to inform your direct manager. So the policy that we have in our company, I think is already manage moral dilemma for all the employees.
Okay.
So regardless the background, regardless their decision, the ethic of conduct, the compliance, the rule already manage all the dilemma. It's supposed to be already manage the dilemma that we are facing every daily decision that we have.
So I think it's coming back to the policy, right? So if a company have a clear policy, for instance, in my organization, we have anti-bribery policy, we have antitrust law, anti-corruption policy, information management policy. This is how we deal with pervasive information. So that kind of giving a guideline to avoid that dilemma, right? Because the policy is very clear.
Correct.
Now, if we don't, if our dilemma is not addressed within this policy, then again we have a speak up or whistleblower mechanism. We can always ask to our supervisor. But I think the simple one, we need to ask ourselves: is this the right thing to do? Our little heart will always say whether this is the right thing to do. That's the simplest way before we go to all that other steps.
Yeah, I agree with you that that's from, I think both of you mentioned more toward the deontological aspect, how to solve the dilemma, right? But if on the other side, sometimes when we do the project, again back to offshore project, that we face a dilemma for whether, for example, that should we route this pipeline to this point where the short point, but a lot of the coral reef, or should we move towards other rock which no coral reef but will cost more? Some, this it's come back to the consequentialism theory, which is we try to find what is produce the greater goods for everyone. So that is there will be some even though cost benefit analysis will be done, but also we need to think towards the future generation that these facilities or this impact will have the impact to everyone.
Okay. But your company already have some policy for facing this kind of problem, or?
Oh, thank you for asking. Indeed, yeah, one of the big what's called the achievement that we have is that we relocate the coral reef.
It is good.
We relocate the coral reef to different location, and also we have like increase the. We have a project for coral reef. What's called like development or rehabilitation. So it's not only relocating, but also we making more coral reef offshore, which is one of the successful project in sustainability in the last years.
Yeah, as part of sustainability. Yeah.
Indeed, and we know that fishing is one of our big industry in Qatar. Pak Yoga, Pak Davi, thank you so much for the discussion tonight. I think this is a
Thank you.
good discussion to refresh what we have learned with Pak Andika one semesters. Yeah, and ethics in our working environment here in Qatar is something that is fundamental that we need to follow. And the subject that we have discussed with Pak Andika is help us to to understand more why we need to adhere ethic and how to empower ourselves the value that we learn. And of course by now we are able to spell the big words the ontological and the conceptualism correctly.
Yeah, I hope that could be something positive taken from this discussion. It's a good reflection.
Yeah.
If you have any question, please feel free to contact us.
I think it's not only about theory. Yeah. The challenge is how we implement this lesson in our workplace. It's good to have ethic, law, and sustainability in our business decision.
Yeah.
So see you again on the next topic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.